Alright guys, welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It's me, TheBladeGamer, of course, and in the last video we finished up the Water Temple. In this video we're going to do a few more side quests on our way to the next temple. I already called Epona earlier to save some time, but now we want to get on Epona and head to a few side quests. My sister is joining me again, but don't expect her to commentate unless she feels like it. She's not pressured into talking, she only talks when she wants to. And she's confused, apparently.
No, usually I don't talk because you're talking, and you don't shut up.
Yeah, anyway, so after leaving Lake Hylia, you want to take a left. You can do this at any point after you have the Iron Boots or the Golden Scale. I just generally prefer to do this after the Water Temple because it makes a bit more sense to me. Basically, you want to head over towards Hyrule Castle on the left side. Now, there is a tree over here, and you want to get off Epona, of course, and place a bomb near this tree. Or not. Okay, maybe it's this one over here. So, excuse me if I get the wrong tree, but, yeah, one of these trees you want to throw a bomb near, which is right here. The Walm Tree, yeah. I thought it was the one near the river, but it's this one. Alright, so, here's a Tektite. Stun him if you want. I suggest equipping your Iron Boots because it'll make it a bit easier. But you want to dive down in the water, and at the bottom will be a piece of heart. And we've completed another heart container, so we only have 8 pieces of heart left in the game, guys, because we have 2 heart containers from temples and everything, so that's really good how we're doing so well. Now we want to head to Kakariko Village. I'm going to want to get Epona, and I will see you at Kakariko Village. Get back, Link. Looks like you're coming around. Link, a terrible thing has happened. The evil shadow spirit has been released. Impa, the leader of Kakariko Village, had sealed the evil shadow spirit in the bottom of the well. But the force of the evil spirit got so strong, the seal of the well broke, and it escaped into the world. I believe Impa has gone to the Shadow Temple to seal it again, but she will be in danger without any help. Link, Impa is one of the 6 sages. Destroy the evil Shadow Spirit and save Impa. There is an entrance to the Shadow Temple beneath the graveyard behind this village. The only thing I can do for you is teach you the melody that will lead you to the Shadow Temple. This is the melody that will draw you into the infinite darkness, that absorbs even time. Listen to this, the Nocturne of Shadow. We've learned the Nocturne of Shadow. Let me take care of the village. I'm counting on you, Link. Well, if she's taking care of the village, why did she have to, like, smoke bomb her way out of here? Well, in this case it's a Deku Nut, but, you know, whatever. Alright, so, before you do any side quests pertaining to Kakariko Village or Death Mountain or anything like that, you're probably going to want to get this cutscene out of the way, which is why I came straight here as opposed to starting some other side quests. First thing we're going to want to do is actually head into the graveyard. Now, if you remember earlier when we got the hookshot from Dampé, I said that there was another reward if you came back and raced him again later. And we want to do that now, but unfortunately it was not possible without the long shot. So if you have the long shot, I suggest doing this immediately if you want a good reward. Now, the goal of this is to get under a minute. So if I cannot make it on this attempt, I will be doing it again in a minute. Anyway, he's like, hey, young man, are you fast on your feet? I may not look like it, but I'm confident in my speed. Let's have a race. Follow me if you dare. Alright, so always follow him. He will mess you up like that sometimes. Just try to avoid the fire at all costs, and try to avoid rolling into things if you roll a lot like I do. It's not that hard, but it can be quite annoying if you keep running into fire and things like that. Generally, I'd say that if you have about 50 seconds left by the time you get to the final stretch of the race, you're good to go if you're quick, but I might not be able to make it because I got hit twice. But then again, I could be able to make it, and I'm just lying to you right now. Chances are I'm not going to be able to. If I'm not mistaken, he goes up here. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it because I get hit twice. But I will show you what you want to do. You want to take out your long shot and hook shot onto that torch. I might be able to do it if it's 1 minute and 10 seconds. The time of this race was 1 minute and 6 seconds. You're back, young man. Was the present I gave to you fun and useful? Alright, so no it doesn't. And if you fail, it's a red rupee. So I am going to cut ahead really quickly and beat him. Alright guys, so I managed to get it 1 second under the time limit. And he gives us a piece of heart. So it is very worth your time to do this if you're going for 100%, of course. So yeah, I was kind of slow on the long shot at the last second, so that's why it kind of took me, you know, I was 1 second below the time limit instead of like 2 or 3, but, you know, it's kind of actually pretty tough. Luckily, it only took me 2 tries through the whole race. I accidentally got turned around a bit, and I lost 2 other times, but I didn't even get to the end, so I don't really count those attempts. But, yeah, so now that we have pretty much all of the pieces of heart that we can get right now, I say that it is time to finish the exchange quest we started earlier to get something quite nice. So, I am going to cut ahead to the Zora King, and I will see you in a moment. Alright, so we're here in the Zora's Domain, and now we're going to show the prescription to King Zora. Ooh, this is, well, eye drops. You might say we have them, you might say we don't. We do have the ingredients. If you take the ingredients to the doctor at the Lakeside Laboratory, he can make the drops for you. But you need to deliver them fresh. Can you make it before they spoil? And you get the Eyeball Frog. Use the prescription and receive the Eyeball Frog. Be quick and deliver it to Lake Hylia while it's still cold. And you have 3 minutes to do this. It is a very difficult task, but once you deliver it to the Lakeside Lab, it gets even harder. You want to take your time, though, and not rush. For example, if you run off this ledge, you have to climb up a ladder, so be careful, but you also don't want to be slow. Now, many people like taking the Death Mountain or Lost Woods shortcut because it's slightly closer to Lake Hylia. And it may save like maybe 15 seconds, which can be a lot for a timed challenge, but to me it kind of makes more sense to run down the river because you know where you're going, and it's just a straight off shot. Now, alternately, if you want to also save a little bit more time, you can call Epona ahead of time and place her outside of the Lost Woods or the Zora River, so that you don't have to call her. But I find it, it's not that difficult to just call her and get on this way. So as you can tell, we got down the Zora's River pretty quickly. Here comes Epona. If you run over to her, the faster it goes. Alright, so climb on top and turn around. So entering Lake Hylia can also be very difficult if you don't time it correctly. Like, for example, you may want to go through the fence instead of jumping over it, because sometimes you won't always jump over it, because Epona sometimes has glitchy fence jumping. So always take into consideration your surroundings. You are going to want to save at least 2 carrots for this part right over here, and you're going to want to charge it up so that she will jump over it. And we got over it flawlessly, so that's pretty nice. I do want to mention that even after you defeat the Water Temple, or finish the Water Temple, whatever you want to call it, the shortcut from the Zora's Domain to Lake Hylia is not open. So do not try and go there, or else it won't work. I highly suggest here turning around Epona so that we can go in the opposite direction. I gotta get down. Alright, I had to move away from the sign because it would have made me read the sign. So as you can tell, we have plenty of time. 30 seconds, that's plenty of time to just talk to this guy. Alright, so I believe you want to talk to him first and then show him the frog. He's like, "Oh wow, I haven't seen an eyeball frog like this since Zora's Domain froze over. These eyeballs are so delicious. Tonight I will cook fried eyeballs for the first time in a long time." Such great stuff. Please say thank you to the King, Zora. What? These are for making Biggoron's eye drops? Oh, how disappointing. You should have said so in the first place. Here it is. This medicine doesn't have any preservatives in it, so it won't last long at this temperature. Run as fast as you can to Death Mountain. You're young, you can do it. And we get the world's finest eye drops. Hurry, take it to Biggoron before it spoils. Alright, so at this point you have 2 options for what route you can take. You can either climb up Death Mountain, or you can go to the Lost Woods and... Okay, I did not get off Epona. Alright, start moving. Okay. Or you can go through the Lost Woods and take the Goron City shortcut, go in the Death Mountain crater behind Darunia's room, and ride the magic bean plant up to the top, which is what I'm going to try and do. I want to mention this, even though I already mentioned it earlier in a different side quest. You cannot use teleportation songs, or else the ingredients will spoil instantly. I believe it gives you maybe 1 or 2 seconds before it spoils, so you're not going to want to do it. So please note that, and if you use a teleportation song and don't make it, then don't blame me for it. That should be obvious enough already. Alright, so I'm going to go to the Lost Woods because I think it'll save, like 30 seconds. Not to mention the volcano erupts when you get near Death Mountain. And I do not want to risk falling off a cliff or anything like that because I've neglected to kill Skulltulas or something like that. So, this is the way that I like doing it. You can probably use the long shot on these vines to get up quicker, but in all honesty, the time it takes to aim, especially with the GameCube controller, if you're playing it on the GameCube or Virtual Console, it doesn't control as well as it did on the N64 because it was designed for the N64, but it's on the GameCube or the Wii. So it's kind of got downfalls on the GameCube and Wii version, but it does look a bit better. Alright, so now we're in Goron City, so all we want to do is jump down here, and right here is Darunia's room. I did not want to check that floor mat. And we have the entrance to Death Mountain right here. Now you will need the long shot or hook shot for this. I don't know why you wouldn't have it at this point. So you go in here, and you jump on the magic bean plant. And right over here will be the top of the platform, which you're going to want to jump off at. And right over here is the exit. Alright, so wake up Biggoron. He will come up at night or day. He's squinting his eyes because he cannot see. And show him the eye drops. Really? You brought the eye drops? I'm so relieved. I'm going to use them right now. Wow! This is stimulating. It's working great! Now I can get back to my blade business. My work is not very consistent, so I'll give this to you, so you won't forget. After a few days, please return. Wait, just wait patiently. We got the Biggoron sword. Claim check. Can't wait for the sword to be completed. You have to wait 3 days for this. I suggest playing the Sun Song. But while we're waiting, I want to get one more thing that's here in the Death Mountain crater that actually I did not know about before recording this. I always wondered, in Wind Waker you got an extended magic meter, and actually I'm going to play the Bolero of Fire. Yeah, and I'll equip the other tunic as well. But in Wind Waker, you get an extended magic meter, and I was like, well, in Ocarina of Time, I don't remember getting an extended magic meter, which I always found weird because you did have some magic using items like the fire arrows and things like that. I even looked up all the Great Fairy locations while I was practicing, so I knew I got all of the Great Fairies because I had trouble finding one of them. And then someone in the comments, which I'll put their name up here, told me about it, and I want to thank you for that. I will put a link to your channel in an annotation so that you get credit for it. He said to break the silver rocks in Death Mountain Crater, and I'm just going to go around breaking boulders and see what I can find. Yep, this is it. Sure enough, he was telling the truth. Welcome, Link. I am the Great Fairy of Wisdom. I'm going to enhance your magic power. Receive it now. And we got the magic meter. Your magic power has been enhanced. Now you have twice as much magic. When battle has made you wary, please come back to see me. Alright, so we have a double magic meter. That's really nice. So thank you for letting me know that, so that my 100% Let's Play was actually 99.5% instead of 100%. Anyway, I am going to cut ahead back to getting the sword from Biggoron. I'll see you in a moment. That sword is my finest work. And we get, we handed in the claim check and we get the Biggoron sword. This blade was forged by a master smith and won't break. Now, I have to mention that this is the single most powerful blade in the game. I showed off earlier that as an adult you can come to the Goron shop where there's a slightly smaller Goron inside of Goron City, but it's not in the Goron shop. Will be the Goron knife. It is more powerful than the Master Sword, but it will break. The Biggoron sword will not break. The only problem with it is that you cannot use your shield while in combat, but the benefit of extra damage makes it's well worth the extra benefit of extra damage as opposed to the less defense, especially because you can have fairies and things like that. Now, I do want to mention that there is a glitch with the claim check now that it is completely useless, where you can turn it into an extra empty bottle. It's where you kind of like equip a bottle, and then equip, what am I trying to say? You equip a bottle, and either find something you can pick up in a bottle, or dump out something in a bottle that you already have, then pick it back up with a bottle, and while it's picking it back up, you put the claim check on the same button, and it will change it into an empty bottle. Now, I've attempted this several times when I was practicing and was not able to do it. And I kind of find it cheap because you're only meant to have 4 bottles instead of 5, which can, you know, it can really be cheap. But, so I'm not going to do that. But if you guys want to, feel free to do it. And I have no problems with it. So, we've run out of time for this video, unfortunately. In the next episode, we are going to change back into a child and do some more side quests. This is TheBladeGamer. See you next time.